Okay.
All right. So
3rd of September, Rabbi Furst, Parsha Hashavua Nitzavim.
Good morning, everyone. This is Rabbi Shlomo Furst here, Yeshiva Tzamachi, here in Yerushalayim, chair of Zoom. This is Erev Shabbos, Parsha Nitzavim, Shana, Shmitas, Tavshin Pei Beis, the last Erev Shabbos of the year. Okay, it's a Shem. Let's see. I'll direct you to the Chumash, and I think if you have a Chumash with Parsha with Sefer Devarim there. Yes, I think we'll in chapter Lamed, the 30th chapter, Pasuk Yud Tes 19.
Lamed, in Devarim, that's
Devarim, right? Parsha chapter 30.
yes.
Pasuk 19.
Oh, 30, 19. So that's not Nitzavim, is it? No.
Yes, it is.
It is.
Yes.
Lamed. No. Oh, I see. I see. I've got. Sorry. So it's Yud Tes.
Okay. Who would like to read?
I would.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Ha-idosi b'chol yom hayom es hashamayim ve'es haaretz ha-chayim ve'ha-maves nasati lefanecha habaracha ve'haklala uva charta b'chayim leman tichye ata v'zarecha. So it means, and I call for you, with you, Hayom, today, the heaven and the earth, the life and the death, I give before you, blessing and curse, so that you will choose life in order that you will live, you and your offspring.
Very good. Okay, let's take a look at Rashi here. So the pasuk basically, Hashem is summoning the on this particular day. The Moshe Rabbeinu was relating to Klal Yisrael, right? He's summoning the heavens and the earth that they should be witnesses for you. That there's going to be life and death, and I'm giving your choice in front of you, and also the bracha and the klala. And he's telling us, "Becharta b'chaim," you should choose life, which is that itself is a. Why would we think that a person would want not to choose? I mean, if you have two ways to go, the right side of the road and the left side of the road, right? And so everything being equal, so if someone tells you should take the right side of the road, go to the right. So that's your. If you trust them, that's good advice, right?
Yeah.
But if you got a fork in the road and it has one road sign, it says to It says, I don't know, it says to the right, it says
Las Vegas.
Las Vegas, and the other sign says Death Valley, right?
We take neither of those.
You're not giving us much of a choice, Rabbi.
So you get the idea. What's the is there any choice? The sign says Death Valley. You're not go left to Death Valley. Next water hole, 560 miles.
Be more interesting than Las Vegas.
Well, so we have to think about what's this point that Hakadosh Baruch Hu says you're putting in front of you life and death, and he's saying to choose life. That seems to be I'm happy to take the advice, but it seems to be a bit superfluous, no? Leman tichya atu v'zracha, in order that you should live, and then that also in order that you should live, choose life that you should live. Isn't that that should be an obvious consequence, no? Choose life to live. So
what was the word for to choose life and live?
Becharta b'chaim, right? Ubecharta b'chaim.
Where is? I can't see. Becharta b'chaim. Choose life that you may live, and I've set before you life, the life and the death.
Right.
Nasati lefanecha habrachav kalkala uveharta. Oh, where does it say life and death? Hachayim v'hamaves.
Right.
But it says the life and the death.
Right.
It doesn't say I set before you life and death. Like you would say, the sign says the Death Valley, the Las Vegas.
Right. So that's also a good point. I didn't realize that. What's the hay? The hay on Haim Hachaim V'hei Hamas. Right. So that's another good point to try and figure out.
Because life can be led okay or not okay. So the life must refer to the good life, the proper life, the proper way of living. And the death would be the proper way of dying, or the not proper way of dying, I don't know. The death could be something like that, or not.
Good. All right. I'm not sure if we can answer all these questions, but let's start looking. Let's start looking at Rashi to begin with.
Okay. Meir is trying to get in, so I might have to interrupt, but I'll give it a try.
Sure.
Ha'idosi bachem hayom es hashamayim es haaretz. I call the heavens and the earth today to bear witness against you. Shehem kayamim la'olam, that they last forever. V'cha'asher tikreh eschem ha'ra'ah, and when the evil will befall you, you edim, they will be witnesses. She'ani ha'his reisi bachem b'chol zos, that I warned you about all this. I have no idea what this means. Every year when I read this, and I have no idea what it means every year. The heaven and the earth are not people. They don't testify. It doesn't make sense that they're witnesses. What does this mean?
No, it's see the again. Let's just do the right. Let's do this part. Right. Look at the Rashi again. Go. Let's do that a little bit slowly. Go get Shem Kayemi Lo'ilam. Right.
Yeah.
The heavens and the earth, Shem Kayim, they're everlasting. Okay, meaning as you know, nothing in physical is everlasting. Good morning, Mayor.
Good morning. Good morning.
We're in Parshas Nitzavim, the 30th chapter, Perek Lamed, Pasuk Yud Tes, the 19th, 30:19.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, we're just starting the Rashis there, right?
Okay,
So first of
I'm
all,
right there.
right, the heavens and earth, they're eternal in terms of as much as eternal can be for physical things. They're constant, right? They're constant and eternal, right?
Right.
Kasher tikra eschem hara, right? And this is a bit difficult. Kasher tikra eschem hara. So now, what is that supposed to mean?
That the heavens and the earth are witnesses. Is that what you're asking?
Right. Well, the Rashi says Rashi says kasher tikra eschem hara.
That I will.
It's a funny way to say it because it should say when you do the wrong thing. Not I mean, evil befalls you kind of implies that you no fault of yours, it just happened to you.
Well, that's exactly the point. The point is when there's going to be something which is not pleasant, something's not pleasant is going to happen to you, right? You should think about the heavens and the earth. You have to think about the heavens and the earth. Why? How you aiding? They're going to be witnesses, testimonies for you, right? Shani Asrasi Eschem, we call this. That now, what does this mean? Sha'ani Asrasi Bechem Bekolzot. That meaning that I've warned you about this. You've been forewarned about this, correct?
What were the words, or what would be the words of the warning? How would the warning? Because it's here, which exists for you, and the evil were before you.
So because I think that's the following of the pasuk that I've set before you, Chaim v'Mavis bracha v'klala, and I'm telling you b'char te b'chaim. You should choose Chaim. Meaning, so you should know, right? And it says in order like tiyeh ata in laman tiyeh ata b'zerecha, that you should live and your offspring should live, right? So that we've been forewarned. This pasuk contains, I think, all the elements of what Rashi is trying to describe here.
What's the warning?
That you should choose life.
That's not a warning. That's a command.
Well, that's something. That's another discussion which we could probably. I'm not sure I have time for that for today, but if it's a command, it says becharta. You have to understand what it is. Then he's saying with Hashem is commanding to choose life. So, okay, we have to try and understand a little bit more deeply. In a larger aspect, it could be all the things mentioned in Sefer Devarim up until now. There have been many, many different things that Moshe Rabbeinu has been saying. For the benefit of Klal Yisrael. So don't think that this is anything happening to you. Don't think that it hasn't been already pre-warned, that you've been warned about this beforehand.
Well, I see in Pasuk 18 it says, "I tell you today that you'll surely be lost."
Right.
So that seems like a warning. So you think it's referring back to that?
I think it could. I don't think it necessarily has to be referring to something specifically in this pasuk, because there's a whole dialogue here which is being discussed. So he's so now how did the let's go. So that's one shot. Okay, that's one shot. Now Rashi says davar achir. Okay, and another shot. He's going to give another shot.
Davar
Okay?
achir, alternative.
Okay, but hold on to your question. Meaning your question basically, if I understood it correctly, is the heavens and the earth, which are as we understand them to be inanimate. How can they give testimony? Right.
That's right.
I can accept that.
Excuse me.
I can accept that.
Yeah. In what way? Go ahead, Roy.
But I can't explain it really. It's sort of in a Kabbalistic frame.
Right.
Yeah. So I can't explain it more than that. But I feel that. Yeah. I really don't know how to explain it other than to tell you that I understand. I think maybe I don't understand it, but I can accept it in the framework of Kabbalah.
Right. Okay. So
I don't know enough about Kabbalah to do anything more than have my faith in that.
Okay, well, I'll tell you, look, it could be, maybe just to try and make a shortcut here. It's really a pasuk in Tehillim, but it shows up more commonly in one of the Zmiros for Shabbos. In the morning Zmiros for Shabbos morning, right? One of the Zmiros we sing popularly is
14:30.
in the Zmiros of Yom Zeh Mechubad. If I'm not sure if you've seen that regularly, right? Right. So one of the last stanzas is Hashemayim Mesaprim Kavodo V'gam Haaretz Malei Chazdo. Right. Hashemayim Mesaprim Kavodo. The heavens speak of your honor, your glory. And also the earth is full of your mercy, right? So,
Is that in one of the Tehillim?
It's a pasuk in Tehillim, correct? It's also a pasuk in Tehillim. Exactly which one? I'd have to look it up to tell you which one it is.
Oh, all right.
But if you want, I can find it for you, easy enough.
That's all right.
So if I were to say this painting speaks to my heart, or this painting speaks of beauty.
Right.
So that would be a metaphor.
Right.
I'm not saying the painting is actually speaking.
Right.
I'm saying that it brings out a certain feeling in me. It elicits, it evokes a certain reaction.
Right.
Is that what we're talking about here?
To a great extent, I think there's more to it than that. But certainly at a basic level, I think we can say that shot. Right. That's I think that basically what it means. But there's more to it than that, as I think Rashi is going to indicate. Right.
Yeah.
So go ahead, Roy. What do you want to say?
Oh, sorry, I keep interrupting. Sorry.
No, it's not. You have to know. It's not you. You're not. It's the Zoom. The Zoom is about a 2.5 second lag. You have to realize Zoom is about 2.5 second lag. So it's not that you're interrupting. It's just that we're not really in actual reality here. We're a few seconds.
Well, my apologies anyway.
We have to talk to the speed of light and tell it to hurry up a little bit more.
All I want to say is that that example that Lou gave doesn't click with what we've got down here, because they're two different things. Hashem created the heavens and the earth, and while some person, we can say, created in inverted commas the painting, and it's the heavens and the earth are full of all sorts of things that the painting is not.
But in terms, what about what the basic point that I think Lou was trying to make was that a painting can evoke in a person certain reactions, right? So that ability of for the example, the painting. I mean, you can see a sunset. You can see, you can read a certain phrase or something, and those things, a person reacts, and they evoke certain reactions to the person, and so in that way they're like talking to them, they're relating to them, and that, I think that was the point that Lou was trying to make.
Okay.
Acceptable?
Well said, Rabbi.
Okay. Fine. Okay, so but I think that's a minimal thing that what's going on here, but let's see the Rashi further to see a little bit more of the depth to what's going on here.
Devar acher, alternatively, ha'idosi bachem hayom es hashemayim v'gomer. I call the heavens to bear witness, implies Amar lahem hakadosh baruch hu liYisrael. The Holy One, blessed is He, said to Israel, Histak lu vashamayim uvarasi lishamesh eschem. Take a look at the heavens, which I created to serve you. Shema Shinu Es Midasam. Maybe they have deviated in their character.
Right. I mean, that's like a rhetorical question. I mean, I have created the heavens and earth to serve you. Have they deviated in their character, their behavior?
Shema lo Allah gal chama min ha mizrach. Could it be that the circuit of the sun has not ascended from the east? V'heir l'chol ha'olam, to give light to the whole world. Ki'inyan she'ne'amar, like the matter which is said, v'zarach hashemesh uva hashamash. The sun rises and the sun sets. That's from Shlomo HaMelech. His taklu ba'aretz sheba rasi leshamesh eschem. Take a look at the earth, which I created to serve you. Shema shin sa mi dasa. Maybe it deviated from its character. Shema zeratem osa velo tzimcha. Could it be that you have sown it and it did not produce plants? O shema zeratem chitim v'he'el sa seorim? Or might you have sown wheat and it yielded barley? Uma elu shna'asu lo l'sachar v'lo l'hefsed. Now, if these which were made neither for reward nor for loss.
Now this, I mean, again, Rashi's quoting the Chazal, which quote Kodesh Baruch Hu, that he's saying, by take a look at the heavens and the earth, right? Meaning, has the heavens ever changed what it's done, and has the earth ever changed from what it's done? And these have been created to serve you, and they're loyal to their mission. And on the other hand, they're doing this and they don't get the reward, and if they're not losing out from this, right? They're completely obedient without any questions of reward or hefsid of loss. So now what's the message? What's the message that the heavens and the earth Hashem wants to communicate to us?
Well, I guess it's saying, just as they don't deviate, you shouldn't deviate.
Right. Good.
It's not saying that they're constant, so that that they're constant, so that they're suitable as witnesses.
I was thinking to say that is their testimony. The testimony is that they're unchanging, they're unwavering, they're completely loyal. That's what I was thinking. But let me hear what you want to say one more time. Let me hear what you wanted your thought, Rory.
That's what I said. That what did I say? That the that the heavens and the earth are suitable as witnesses to bear testimony, because they're constant, and they're a mark, M-A-R-Q-U-E.
Okay, you see that they're, I mean, meaning the first basic criteria for a witness is you have to trust the witness. If you don't trust the witness, his testimony is worthless. Correct? So you're adding this point that you see that the heavens and the earth, they're trustworthy, that they're undeviating, that they're loyal. Okay, good. Right here. That's a nice addition to this.
What does it mean to say something that's inanimate is loyal?
Who says it's inanimate? The trees will sing.
The heavens and the earth are inanimate.
But even it's true, man. Even though that they're inanimate, but that's what Rashi's including here, that they don't get scarred, and they don't lose out, meaning they're not in the realm of reward and punishment, right? The heavens and the heavens and the earth are not in the realm of getting rewards or losing and getting punishments, right? But nevertheless, and that's a certain aspect of something which is inanimate, right? Something which is inanimate, there's no situation which calls for reward or punishment. Reward or punishment is only going to be applicable if there is a choice involved, right? A choice involved, and that's really going to be I'm not sure if we'll get to it today, but when it says Becharta B'chaim, right? So if it's a command, if Becharta B'chaim is a command, right? So if we're commanded to choose life, so if we choose life, is it really in the realm of reward and punishment? That
Yeah, because we have a choice.
but
We don't have to do it. We can sin.
Right. So the question is, there's the heavens and the earth, right? Kadosh Baruch Hu says, look, they haven't changed what they've done, right? Right. So and they're not in the realm of reward and punishment because they're not changing what they're doing, right? Because as you're indicating that they're inanimate, meaning since they're inanimate, there's no bechira, there's no choice for them, right?
Right.
There's no choice. So if there's no choice, of course they're going to continue to do, right, what they were intended to do without any change, without any variation.
Exactly.
Right? Okay. So let's see the Rashi. Hold on to that point, and let's see the Rashi a little further.
Okay. Let's see. Uma elu she naasu lo l'sachar below lehefseid. These which were made neither for reward nor for loss.
So this is only reinforcing what you're saying. They weren't created, meaning they weren't created for reward or for loss. They're not in the realm of rewards and punishment, right? Because now does that mean because they don't have bechira? HaKadosh Baruch Hu is saying here, the Rashi is saying that they weren't created, meaning their creation was not in the realm of having a necessity of reward and punishment. Meaning what they do is what they do, whether they and if they do it, they're not going to get rewarded, right? And if they don't do it, they're not going to be punished either, right?
Right.
But inherent in that statement is that they have a possibility of not doing what they're supposed to do.
How you see that? They don't have any choice. It's their nature.
Well,
the sun can't stop rising in the east.
So what is it? So what does it mean? What does Rashi say? It says lola skar lola hefsid im zoichin ein mekablim skar. If they're zoichim, right, they don't get reward. Vim chotim ein mekalim peronius. What does it mean that they're chotim? They're not going to get peronius. What does that mean?
It means if they were to sin, they wouldn't be punished, even though they can't sin anyway.
Well, that's a little bit of a circular reasoning, isn't it?
Yes, but I don't see how else you can read it.
No, I think that's the way you're supposed to read it. But I'm still struggling and trying to understand what it means. Im chotim, right? If they would sin, meaning, if they would sin, they even if they would sin, they wouldn't get a punishment. They were not going to get punish.
First of all, by saying if they would, infers that there is some sort of life in them.
Right.
Whatever that means. And
it's hypothetical. It's saying if they were to sin. That doesn't mean they could sin. It means if you constructed a logical concept that the earth sinned, it decided to give you barley instead of wheat, then it wouldn't be punished. That doesn't mean it's possible that it could do that.
Well, maybe it means that regardless of its innate ability, if it did do the wrong thing, out of character, if it did do something out of character, then it wouldn't be blamed. So it wouldn't be. punished because no blame can be attached to it.
Right.
Okay, maybe. Let's hold this for a moment. Now, I just want to make two comments, which I think we mentioned more than once before. The fact that the first thing was mentioned that the Shemayim, right? That the sun would always come up, and it's going to be rising in the east, right? Right, and obviously then setting in the west, and it's not changed. So we see that at the time there was a time when it did change. The Gemara in Sanhedrin said that the week before the Mabul, that the Kadosh Baruch Hu had the sun rise in the west and set in the east, right?
Yeah.
And
So was the sun punished for that?
I imagine that it was commanded to do that. The Kadosh Baruch Hu had to do that as a command. And also, if you, I'm not sure if you have a Sefer Bereshis nearby.
Yes.
If I'm not mistaken, I think it's at the well, there's more than one case, but we'll just maybe bring this one particular case. If I'm not mistaken, it's toward the end of Parsha's Bereshis. Let me just check to make sure.
It's so you got the Yechi. There's Shemos. And then the sun was held in place and didn't set by Moshe Rabbeinu.
Well, so there was also a case, right? There were other instances as well.
But that wasn't of the sun's volition. That was under the control of Moshe Rabbeinu.
Right. And
so that's why the sun wasn't punished.
Right. Okay. Another example I want to bring you is in Bereshis, toward the end of Parsha's Bereshis, Perek Hey, the 5th Perek, Pasuk Chav Tes, the 29th verse.
In Vayigash, where is it?
Bereshis, Hey, Perek Hey, chapter 5.
Perek Hey. Oh, Perek Hey.
Okay.
Pasuk 29.
29, right.
Perek Hey. I've got Perek 23.
Oh, the ground which Hashem has cursed.
Right.
Uh-huh.
It's at the very bad. So at the beginning of the Chumash, in the 5th chapter of Chumash, Roy.
Yeah, I've got
29, verse 29.
Yeah, I 28, and he called his. Oh no, I've got the wrong thing.
Okay, you could read the pasuk, and I want to see the Rashi. We're going to go to the Rashi here.
Yeah. Oh yes, I've got it. Yes.
You could read the pasuk in the Rashi.
I haven't got Rashi on here.
And he called his name Noach, saying, "This one will bring us ease from our work and from the toil of our hands, from the ground which Hashem has cursed." And then Rashi says, will ease us from the toil of our hands. Until Noach appeared, they did not have implements of plowing, and he devised such implements for them. And the earth would produce thorns and thistles. When they would sow wheat, the commentary says artichokes and cardoons, I guess, instead of wheat. As a result of the curse of Adam, the first man, and in the days of Noach, it rested from producing the undesired crop. This is the meaning of Yenachamenu.
Right.
But if you do not explain it thus, the reason of the language does not fall upon the name. But you should rather have named him Menachem. I don't follow the last part, but
Yeah, that's okay. That's a grammatical thing. I want to avoid that right now. So you see that until Noah came along, for many hundreds of years, they would plant wheat and they would get thorns and thistles. They would get things which were not wheat. So you see but this again was at the command of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, right?
right.
And it also the pasuk uses that there was a klola. It was that the land was cursed. But now, is that considered to be a punishment, some type of a? I mean, in a certain way, maybe when we get to Parshas Bereshis, after Sukkot, we can discuss this a little bit more. It's more detailed than we have time for right now. But so you see, there were times that things changed, right?
Right.
And as Roy mentioned, also the sun stood still for Moshe Rabbeinu, for Yeshua ben Nun. Also, the sun stood still. But those, because they were overriding directives for it to do that in those cases, right? But in everything else being equal, right? You could even say that by the thorns and the thistles. There was an overriding directive. A Kadosh Baruch Hu had given the klala to the land, so therefore that was a ramification of the klala that it received, right?
A curse on the land is also a curse on the people.
Yeah, exactly. It was definitely there to make life more difficult for us. Definitely so. Correct.
Well, in this case, it was a curse on Adam.
Yes, that's right.
The land is cursed because of you, right?
Yes, that's right. So we see that that there are times that the heavens and the earth can, in fact, if commanded so, will change from their behavior, and that so-called natural behavior.
Right.
And since they don't, they don't receive reward because they don't, and if they did, they also wouldn't receive a punishment, right?
Right.
So now, if you continue the Rashi, we're supposed to take a lesson from this. This is the testimony that the HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants the heavens and the earth to give to us. I mean, their testimony to us is as follows, as Rashi explains in the very last couple of lines of Rashi, that the heavens and the earth, they don't change from their mission. Their behavior is constant in terms of fulfilling their mission. And even if they would change, they wouldn't get punished for it. And even if they do follow their prescribed, their programmed behavior, they wouldn't get any reward for it, right?
Right.
So we should take a lesson from that, meaning the fact that that's the case, we, Klal Yisrael, should take a lesson from that. That's the last couple of lines of Rashi, right?
Right.
Atem, right? That Atem, she'im zachisam tikabel skar, that if you're privileged, that you should then receive reward. And im chatisam, if you'll sin, tikabel paranias, and you that if meaning Klal Yisrael, if you veer from the behavior that Kadosh Baruch Hu wants you to be loyal to, right? Mekabel paranias, there'll be calamities coming up upon you, and so much more so you should do what you're commanded to do. You should be loyal and behave properly according to the will of Kadosh Baruch Hu. So
what we're saying is that Hashem created an ordered world in which we have a constancy of things happening. And that's a good thing. And just as we see the world works that way, we should work that way.
Right. Right. That's the testimony. I mean, Hashem is really saying, take a look at the heavens and the earth. Look at my creation, that they've been created, and their behavior is constant, even though they're not getting rewarded and they're not getting punished, whether they would keep to it or not keep to it. They're they keep to their mission. They don't deviate from their prescribed programmed behavior. So you, Klal Yisrael, who you should take a lesson. It should evoke, when you look and if you think properly enough about what you see in the world, right? That should give you a sense of necessity to obey what Hashem has commanded you to do. Right. So Hashem has made various different commandments upon us, and there is consequences for the keeping of those commandments, and there's consequences as well for not keeping those commandments. So that should be a constant reminder. Looking at the heavens and the earth should be a constant reminder for us to remember what we're obligated to do and to keep to doing it constantly. Mm-hmm. Now, what does it mean, Bacharta B'chaim? Right now, let's go back to the Parsha. We have another 5 minutes or so. What does it mean, Bacharta B'chaim? Is that a command, right?
B'charta b'chaim, ani moreh lachem. I instruct you, shetiv charu b'chelek hachayim, that you should choose the portion of life. Ke'adas ha'omer livno, like a person who says to his son, Bachar lecha chelek yafeh benachalasi. Choose for you, for yourself, a nice portion in my estate. U ma'amido al chelek hayafeh, and he directs him to a nice portion. Va'omer lo, and says to him, Es ze barur lecha. Select this for yourself. Va'al ze ne'amar, and concerning this, it says, Hashem manas chelko. Hashem allotted my portion.
He's frozen.
I think so. No?
Yeah,
I'm
he's
frozen?
He's frozen.
Hope he's not cold.
No, I'm not cold. I'm fine. Let's see. My
You're back.
working.
Okay, you're
I'm back.
warming up again.
Oh. I'm warming up to this subject. Okay. Select this for yourself. On this, it says, Hashem is allotted, is my allotted portion and my cup. You guide my portion. you laid my hand upon the good portion to say, take this for yourself.
So it's really advice.
Advice, right? So that it's not exactly a command. According to Rashi, it's not a command at all. It's really advice, right?
I've got a note here.
Go ahead.
Says this is the translation, which you just read, that Rashi himself gives in his commentary on Tehillim. He gives a reference back to this text, stating that the verse alludes to God's counsel given to Israel to choose life. To God's counsel given to Israel to choose life.
Very good, very good.
Counsel is advice, I think.
So that clears up one point, that it's not really a command. Okay, so that's okay. But the question is, why do we have to be commanded? Why do we have to be advised? I mean, again, if it's so obvious, isn't the difference? I mean, the difference between Baruch and Klala, Chaim, Brahmaves, isn't it obvious what a person should choose? Why does he have to be advised for that, right?
If in the case of the Moshel about the son, he might be a bit shy or embarrassed to choose the good portion. He might think he's being greedy or something like that. So we might feel that we're being, can we really take this? Can we really choose this? Is it our is it really for us, or are we asking a bit too much?
I mean, but
Yes.
even though the contrast is, I mean, l'chaim l'mavis, I mean, that's like, that's kind of, it's not like a difference between, choosing,
Yeah.
chocolate candy and cookies. It's a choice between chocolate candy and poison, right? And what, why would a person pick poison? What's the Havamina here? The person would pick poison. It has to be advised, take the candy, not the poison.
Maybe we're not too sure whether we deserve it. What is it? Does a background to this help in that or not? The previous.
Well, I mean, they're all somewhat related here. You got it, well, actually, previously I was talking about the Yordan. Yeah, that. Interesting. So the Chazal darsing Islam Chayulam Hazeh. It needs more explanation. Exactly. I don't want. We're not gonna. Our time has basically run out. So that question will have to leave. Apparently. Let's see. So
next year, Rabbi.
Excuse me.
There's always next year.
Okay. What did we agree on anything for Sunday? Is everyone's going to be available on Sunday?
Well, we want to do the Notaris Adorim, don't we? I spoke. Stay on for a moment, please, Rabbi.
Yeah, sure.
I spoke with Bernard. He said any time. I said, what, 10 o'clock, 10:30? And he said, no, any time. So what do you want?
Mm-hmm.
So
we said that we would do the Friday schedule. We would start at 9:30.
9:30. Okay, very good. So it's
Rabbi Levitt agreed that he would do his part of the Friday schedule.
Okay, fine. So 9:30. So good. I'll have to see you on 9:30 tomorrow on Yom Rishon Mitzvah Shem. Very good. Wonderful.
So when do we do the Torah Sidorim?
We have to do it before 9:30. What time does your shul end?
Well, we're going to end a bit later, aren't we? Because the Slichas is a longer one, a very long one.
Right.
We'll start a bit earlier too, but nonetheless, we'll still
What time do you usually end?
around about 8:30ish, 8:45.
Yeah, so probably you'll end around 9:15 or 9:30. So it should work.
Okay. Very good. All right. Good. So look, I hope to see you 9:30 on Yom Rishon Mitzvah Shem.
So we do.
Anytime-
So we do the Torah Sidorim in the afternoon.
You can do it anytime, I think.
Yeah, you can do it in the afternoon, of course.
All right. So how's that suit you, Meir?
Yes, that's okay.
Well, so we do say early afternoon. With Rabbi Levitt, we'd finish what 11:30.
11:30.
Yeah.
So if we do 12 o'clock noon,
I can't do 12 o'clock.
okay. So
But I don't know. I'm thinking maybe I should just do it in shul,
okay.
because at the end of shul they'll break up into groups,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you could do. Okay.
and I've got to do the Prusbul also in shul. I'm going to Rabbi Berkowitz, so I can because I was told that he'll have the Prusbul also.
Well, if Meir is still on for some time, there's Meir, myself, and Alan, and then maybe another person, then would be okay.
and Bernard also.
And Bernard, yes.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. There you go. Very good.
All right, then. So we'll organise something. We'll see what to do. We may or may not be on time, or might miss out. I don't know.
Right.
Okay. Very good. So everyone should have a good Erev Shabbos, a good Shabbos, and I hope to see you on Yom Rishon Mitzvah Shem.
Okay. Have a good job.
Thank you all.
Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom.
Thank you.
Okay.